God. Hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
Do you come here often?
To my room?
Yep.
Sometimes.
Wow.
Like half the time.
Amazing.
I've been in Louisville.
You
I've been
have.
visiting.
You
Hey,
have.
welcome to another
Whoa.
episode of Kentucky Fried Roadkill. Yeah, this episode is coming out a little late. We normally release on Fridays. This one's on Monday. God, we've had a couple late episodes recently.
We're busy men. I mean, with
ships
the
in the night, as you described us.
Yeah, with the podcast taking off. I mean, I'm booking cons, seminars.
I have a Madison Square Garden gig.
Right,
They're
right.
opening it back up just for me. Yeah.
It's so hard. Well, with the vaccine out and everything.
Yeah.
People are
That's fun. Both my parents are vaccinated now.
I've got a shameful thing to admit.
What? Did you weasel your way into
I weaseled my way
vaccine?
into a vaccination.
Well, your wife is surely vaccinated.
She got vaccinated near the very beginning.
Yes,
Oh,
because she is a nurse.
pardon me. Sorry, I didn't see you all there. This is Kentucky Fried Roadkill. I am your big juicy cockroach, Treyton Blackburn.
And I am the Sultan of Sandwiches, Evan Pride.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, she got vaccinated very close to the beginning of the pandemic because she is a lab tech.
I'm assuming when they had it. She didn't get it like a year ago, right?
Right. She's not. She
was the one.
Yeah, she wasn't patient zero.
Yeah. We're going to try this out on you.
Yeah.
And if Treyton gets it.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But so in my home community of Pike County, not many people are taking the vaccine.
Yes, in many rural communities.
Yeah. There's a surplus of doses.
Yeah, which sucks because they're just sitting there, and like once you unthaw them, they only have a certain time period, and then
they'll go bad.
Useless. Yeah.
And so I'm really not doing anything wrong.
So you've been taking like 8 vaccines.
Yeah, I just told him to give me as many doses.
Give me all the extra ones.
Give me all the extra doses. So I snuck home. Why did I go home for? Oh, it was my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. She doesn't listen to this show.
Okay.
But happy birthday to my mom. But I snuck home for her birthday, and my aunt came over. My aunt was like, "Hey, your uncle just got vaccinated." And I said, "How? He doesn't fit any of the precautions." He said, we just lied." And I said, oh, well, then I would like to get mine.
Put me down for severely obese.
Yeah. Tell him I'm an essential employee.
Yeah.
And so I went to Walgreens in my hometown and got my first dose of vaccine, and I get my second one on the 28th.
Well, they have plenty just sitting around down there. Yeah.
And here's my argument.
You shouldn't feel bad about that. Yeah.
And here's another thing. Like, so herd immunity is herd immunity. Like, it doesn't matter if me or some old fucker gets it first.
Yeah, it's just
me
a certain
getting the
percentage, right?
Right. It's 60% threshold. So me getting the vaccine does as much good as some old fucker getting it.
No, and theoretically they had the opportunity to get it first.
Yeah.
Preferentially.
It was literally like
you had to drive all the way down there to.
Right. There were like 40 appointments at this Walgreens, and
they were all free.
Yeah, and my mom and dad and I took 3 of them. And like there were 2 other people, there were 5 people there getting vaccinated. Yeah. And 3 of them were me and my parents.
It's very exciting. More and more people getting vaccinated. Things are starting to open up. Texas is 100% open now.
Oh my God. Don't get me started.
This is old news at this point. But I think it'll be interesting.
Fucking deep freeze. Fucking the ice age hits Texas. And you're like, fuck, you know what we need to do? Play ball with the plague. That's exactly what we need to do after this.
It'll be a case study for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Texas is big. You know, there's plenty of people there. There's populated. You see, like Austin and Dallas and stuff. I bet, like, because
I've heard Austin is a great city.
They took off the mask mandate, but I bet people will still be wearing masks.
Sure, but not
everybody.
Not everybody.
No, people who have been
anybody
unhappy.
20 miles outside of Austin is not going to be wearing a mask.
Well, I bet there's plenty of people still in Austin that aren't wearing masks now.
Yeah.
Which has got to be weird for all the people there who are like super careful.
Yeah.
They go to the grocery store now and they're like,
One of my roommates in college went to Austin, said it was one of the best cities she'd ever been to.
I have been a big fan of Austin for years. I've never been to Texas, but if I did, I would love to visit Austin. Recently, the big news is in at least my world in comedy and stand-up and stuff. Joe Rogan moved down there.
Oh yeah,
and with him, he brought just like a whole swarm of comics.
Joe Rogan's a wild guy, huh?
Yeah, he's got a huge podcast and a huge swing, and he pretty much created the scene in LA, which was huge up until COVID. And the idea is that within a couple years, Austin is going to be this booming comedy just reservoir.
Yeah.
So he's going to like open a club down there. So a lot of people are swarming down there trying to get on that Joe Rogan bandwagon.
Got it. It's kind of like Atlanta, because Atlanta.
Yeah, kind of like Atlanta for film.
Yeah.
Although I hear film in Atlanta is on the down slope.
Well, I imagine most film is on the down slope currently.
Yeah, because of COVID. But compare. Yeah, I guess.
Here's some big news, film related. Did you see that Marvel Studios is moving to Australia?
What?
Yeah, Marvel Studios.
That is very interesting.
Is because Australia has like some of the only like full green screen and blue screen studios in the world. And they already do so much of their filming there. They're like, it's just cheaper for us.
Okay.
If we become based in Australia.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I bet that probably helps them get around some tax shit too.
I don't know. I've heard Australia's got some pretty harsh tax policy.
Yeah.
But
give us a good percent of your taxes, eh?
I also heard because they were making the first Justice League movie that was going to be directed by George Miller, the Mad Max director.
Oh.
He's Australian, and he wanted to do the Justice League movie in Australia. And apparently if you hire a certain like threshold of Australian citizens,
they just consider the movie Australian.
Yeah, and they give
Do they really?
And they give huge tax breaks.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. They've got huge film subsidies in Australia.
Can you imagine?
From what I understand.
Can you imagine if Marvel made a movie and like a little more than half of it was made up of Canadians, and so it was just a Canadian film?
A Canadian film.
Well, in that case, then most of Hollywood movies are British movies.
Yeah.
Because British actors rule American Hollywood.
Did you know that Marvel does have a Canadian superhero team?
What are they called?
They're called Alpha Flight.
The Good Boy A's?
Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight, yeah. The members of Alpha Flight are...
Why does everything Canadian just sound a little wrong? That's like Alpha Flight. Is that like their Avengers?
Yes.
Or is it one guy like Alpha Flight?
The Alpha Flight is the Canadian Avengers.
That's why it's like why not just the Alphas?
Right.
Or something.
Yeah,
just
something
Alpha
like
Flight. That's just the correct
the
name.
Maple
adjacent.
Boys.
Yeah, the Maple Boys.
Something like that.
The Toronto Maple
the
Leafs.
Mounties.
Just name them an NHL team.
So they're led by a guy called the Guardian.
The Canadian.
The Guardian.
And
he's essentially Canada's Captain America. He's got like it's a white suit with a red leaf on it.
Does he have the flat billed hat that all
he
the
doesn't.
all the Mounties have?
I
he
wish
rides a
Guardian
horse.
had one of those. That would be great. Sasquatch is on the team.
They were strapped for superheroes.
Yeah.
They had to bring in Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot's
Oh my
on the
god!
team.
Is that their Hulk?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
There's a hero named Snowbird. She's like got ice and wind powers.
I bet just Wayne Gretzky is in the Alpha Flight. Just like
there's a guy called Puck, and his power is being short.
Being short.
Yeah, he's
so
like
that's
3.
That's their Ant-Man.
No, not Ant-Man. He doesn't shrink.
He doesn't shrink. He's just short.
He's 3 foot tall and really buff, and that's kind of his superpower.
Okay, so he's not even like a dwarf or a little person. He's just very short.
He's very short.
Okay.
There's North Star, who's actually kind of a big deal.
North Star, that's their Storm?
North
that's
Star,
X-Men.
I don't actually know. North Star was one of the X-Men for a while. I don't know North Star's power set. But North Star...
She was that badass, she crossed over.
Actually.
Him?
Yeah, North Star was one of the first openly gay characters in comics. Yep.
Wow.
So North Star's... One of them's a big deal. There's a character named Shaman, who is a racist stereotype.
I could assume.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of the breakdown of who's on Alpha Flight.
That's interesting. The Canadian. So do is there like an Australian Avengers? Do they do it multinationally
not that I know
like
of,
that?
but surely, right? Surely there's an Australian Avengers.
Yeah, there's probably the Mexican Avengers.
Yeah.
There's the.
Did you know that Kentucky has a superhero team?
Do we?
We do. There are only 3 people on it, but
Who? Colonel Sanders.
no, not Colonel
Muhammad Ali.
Frogman is on it.
Frogman.
Yeah, Frogman is on.
Not even Mothman.
No, Frogman's on it.
Okay.
He's a guy in a frog suit.
not even like a mutant frogman.
No.
Just a guy in a frog suit.
No, and then there's a guy who essentially has Captain America's powers called MVP.
What does that stand for?
Michael Van Patrick.
What?
That's his name. And his superhero name is MVP.
Most valuable Patrick.
And I can't remember the third person on our superhero team. They were only in one issue of one comic
Like
book.
Raccoon Boy or something.
No, it's a female superhero, but I can't remember her name or what she does.
Probably like Eliza.
Oh, what are they called? Oh, they're called something silly too. Give me a second to do some research.
The Kentucky Avengers.
They were not called what if they were called the Deep Fried Avengers? Wouldn't that be hilarious?
The Deep Fried Avengers. they were just called Kentucky Fried Roadkill. We just found that out right now.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Sorry, Marvel.
We'd like to issue a apology to the fans of Marvel, but most importantly, the lawyers at Marvel.
That's right.
We did not know.
Oh, come on.
Treyton is looking up
I'm looking up the Kentucky. Okay.
our Kentucky superheroes.
They're called the Action Pack.
The Action Pack.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Okay. I'll allow it. That seems kind of Kentuckian.
It's
right?
Yeah.
Action. Is action misspelled?
No.
With like a K or
No,
a
it is
X
not.
or some shit?
It's a character named Fox.
Fox.
VOX.
Fox, like what?
VOX. Vox.
Oh, Vox.
Yeah.
I thought you said
Prima Donna and Frogman.
Prima Donna.
So I guess MVP isn't on the team, but MVP is a Kentucky superhero.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they are based in Louisville.
Oh.
Yep.
Dope. Maybe I've seen them around.
You think you've seen Frogman?
Yeah, yeah.
Please tell me.
There was a basketball player who he may have gone to U of L. I think he's in the NBA now.
Yeah.
But me and my family, we used to call him like Froggy or something because
Froggy?
when he would take free throws, he would like dip way down in his hips and like kind of do this weird little jump up. Although you can't jump when you take free throws, but he would like really fling himself up there, and it just looked ridiculous. But like weirdly, it went in every time.
Yeah, and so what you're telling me is the superhero gig got old and decided to get into professional ball.
yeah. Well, maybe that's just his alias or whatever.
Oh yeah, his secret identity.
Yeah, and and people don't think differently of it because he can jump really high. To slam dunk a basketball.
If any representative of Marvel Comics is listening to this podcast, if you give us the ability to write a run of Action Pack comics, we will do it.
Oh my god, that'd be so much fun
to write.
Can you imagine? And we wouldn't really even have to do the super heavy lifting, which is creating the characters. They're already created.
We would just have to do some research into who they are.
Yeah, and we know Kentucky. So we can put them into. Oh my God, Marvel, hit us up.
Please hit us up. We will write Action Pack.
We have Phase Z of the Marvel MCU.
Yeah, when they get to Action Pack.
Yeah, when they're really strapped down, when they're really desperate for money, we got you on Action Pack.
We got you on Action Pack. We will write a 12-issue run on Action Pack. I swear it at this. If we get an email from Marvel, I will say that I'm lying. Oh shit.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, we just sold something.
We did
something to look forward to.
Yeah, Marvel, call us.
Well, while we're talking about Marvel, we might as well bring up
the WandaVision finale. Very powerful.
Yes. So this is on Monday. So we'll just go right into spoilers.
Yeah, very spoilery.
At this point, anybody who has watched WandaVision, who's into it, they have the full weekend to watch the finale.
Right.
So WandaVision spoilers, which really aren't huge. If you've been watching the last couple episodes.
Here's I'm gonna preface. I loved the finale.
Yes, I enjoyed it as well.
I think it did everything it needed to do.
It did everything it needed to do and nothing that we were predicting.
That's right.
We were predicting and then the Fantastic Four are going to come
the
snapping
whole Fantastic Four are going to show up.
And then Doctor Strange is going to open up a portal and Spider-Man, all three Spider-Men are going to step out.
I read an article yesterday that was talking about the WandaVision finale, and it said at the end of the day, WandaVision was the last Jedi of the MCU, in that it did not give us what we wanted. It gave us what the story needed. And I don't know that that's an incorrect statement.
Yes. Okay. That's interesting because The Last Jedi, we've discussed this before, I think.
Yeah, I think we have.
It's where we really enjoyed how they stepped out of what the audience was expecting, and they built a character like a screenplay or a playwright would do.
Right.
Where they really just took them somewhere that's deeply human but not completely out of their character or whatever. And I think WandaVision, but the reason now we look back on Last Jedi and be like, was because it ruined that trilogy. Yeah. And it fucked up whatever. But unlike Star Wars, who are idiots and didn't know where they were going with the fucking most popular franchise in human world. History. Yeah. Marvel actually planned something out. So we're excited for what comes after WandaVision, which the end implied.
So for all you comic book nerds out there, this will be review material for you, but for all of those of you who are not complete losers like myself,
for all you comic book nerds, you'll recognize this from the Quizlet.
From the Quizlet page that we're all on. But Wanda came into possession of a spell book called the Darkhold, which was given to her by
Agatha Harkness.
It was Agatha all along.
And she fucking killed. No, she didn't kill Agatha. She re-killed all those witches and got their powers.
She did. Agatha did, in my opinion, suffered a fate worse than death, because she's just living a life that isn't hers. Like when Wanda did that,
I guess the rest of the town went back to normal, but then she's gonna go back to someoone's house and they're gonna be like, who
Ralph
the fuck
Boner.
are you?
She's gonna be married to Evan Peters.
Okay,
which I guess isn't the worst fate.
Yeah, not too bad. But he's fast though. So.
He's very fast. So.
That fucking all that for a boner joke.
Yeah,
all the Ralph setup.
It was
a red herring that was established like episode 1 or 2, and it built all the way to a fucking boner joke, it just goes boner.
Boner.
Yeah. I didn't even. I guess if you were really keeping up with the WandaVision theories or stuff, then you were probably like, who's Ralph?
Right.
Like, Ralph's got to be something big. But probably all the casual viewers, which I was probably more of a casual viewer. I was just like, boner. What?
Yeah.
I was like, what are we watching right now?
So the shooting title of WandaVision was Big Red. That was the
Big Red Boner.
Yeah. But one of the, because everybody was anticipating that it was like a wink and a nod at Mephisto, that Mephisto was going to be the big bad, Big Red, because the devil. But I think it is probably funnier that Big Red was an allusion to just the absurd amount of red herrings in the show. Like,
well, red was also
the Scarlet Witch,
the main color that was throughout the show. Red was a motif.
Elizabeth Olsen in your new Scarlet Witch costume. I will cheat on my wife with you.
Wow.
But only if you're wearing the costume.
And only if you're reading out of the spell book.
Yeah, and only if you're reading out of the spell book and there are 2 of you.
Yeah, if you're astral projecting the other one.
No, she's amazing. I think she should be nominated for an Emmy.
Yes.
She's so good.
I very much enjoyed her performance, as well as Paul Bettany. Yes. Really enjoyed him. Oh, so that could lead us to so I assume you recognized White Vision when he showed up.
I did, yeah.
So but he was new to me. I thought he was just when you first saw him as like the super weapon, were you immediately like, holy shit, White Vision.
So in episode 6 or 7 they talk about Project Cataract for the first time.
Which was the big
and I said at the time, and I think I said this on last time we talked about WandaVision, that I think that Vision is
I
going.
am ripping
You are
apart my pants.
Evan
right
will
now.
not have pants by the end of this episode.
These pants are so tattered and it's so thin, so there's holes
Evan is
all
hulking
over it.
out over here.
But the ends of them are already broken, so they just kind of get caught on
it's
stuff.
really
and
bad.
I need to get new pants. I got
You
new underwear though. So, follow up from acidic ball sweat. All my underwear is now patched up, and my balls are nice and tucked away.
Dude, your mom listens to this show.
Yeah, and my grandma.
Man, please buy this child some underwear.
No, we have new underwear.
Okay,
I'm wearing
good.
them now.
Good. I'm glad. New underwear.
Behind this layer of flimsy pants
is a stout, brand new pair of underwear.
Yeah.
But whenever they announced Project Cataract, I said they're going to use Vision to create the Sentinels in the MCU, which are giant robots that hunt superhumans in the comics.
Yes.
And that Project Cataract was clouded Vision.
Yes.
And I said to Tara, I said, there's a period of time in the comics where Vision is white and he loses all of his emotion. I don't think they're going to do that because that would be a crazy deep cut from the comics. It would be super cool, but I just don't think they're going to do it. But that would be a good way for them to get Vision out while still like letting a Vision live on while also completing Wanda's arc. And then he showed up and I was like, fuck!
Yeah! White Vision, baby!
That is a quotation of when I watched that post-credits scene.
Your just fist was shaking up in the air.
I was like, those fuckers did it!
Oh my god! I wish this podcast was video, just so people could see your fucking face when you did that.
It made me so happy. I was so excited.
I was excited just because that means the character Vision kind of lives on. I guess what happened. He just transferred, or he just opened back up his memories. And that is Vision's original body. They just put him back together and they painted him white for some reason.
And they
fucking
said
racist bastards.
That's a weird question. Why does he turn white? Isn't that strange?
Because
in the comics,
because he's a creature that will kill millions.
I get that's fair. in the comics, the reason he turns white is Vision. Like instead of like being chunky metal, he has skin on the outside. And they peeled his skin off when they were taking him apart, and they couldn't get the skin back on. And so that's what he looks like without his skin. That's why he's white in the comics.
Oh, because he's like all robotified.
It's a skinless Vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they brought back, so they rebuilt Vision. He was like a killer. He was like must kill Vision, which I thought he was going to kill himself, like flying into the sun or some shit.
Yeah.
But then
they did the ship of Theseus.
Yes. Which I kind of got lost when he was going on about that whole thing.
Really?
Yeah. It was
fascinating.
Yeah, I got sidetracked. I don't know. I just got this. I find it hard to concentrate when people really start like telling like an old story in a movie.
It's not an old story. It's a philosophy experiment.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. Like a large philosophical idea. I was just like, it went from like punch to like philosophy.
But
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I'm dumb.
So Vision, that's Vision in the comics. Like he's a very heady character. Always has been.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's a supercomputer.
Yeah, and so when the ship of Theseus shit started happening, I was like, this is the first like real Vision scene we've ever seen in the MCU. Like this is comics Vision.
That was. When was that ship of Theseus scene?
It was in the library during the final fight.
The final... Yes.
Yeah.
When they were floating up.
That's right.
And right before he transferred the memories, or just unlocked them, I guess.
Exactly.
So did he unlock like emotion and shit too?
Well, in the comics, White Vision, like he can't process emotion, but who knows what they're doing in the MCU with him.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting things about White Vision is they've been setting this up in Infinity War. I mean, Bruce Banner said it, Vision is a complex overlay. Me, Tony, Ultron, the Mind Stone. If you take the Mind Stone away, there's still a lot of Vision left. Perhaps the best parts.
Oh, okay.
And so, and I thought the final scene between Wanda and Vision was just beautiful. The we have said goodbye before, so it
God.
stands to reason that we will say hello again.
Yeah.
What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful monologue.
Yeah, I was tearing up when she had to kill her kids.
I can't believe Marvel did it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching the finale, and I looked at Tara, and I was like, there is no way Marvel is going to make me watch these kids die. They will not do it.
They didn't. But I mean, when I was watching it with Emily, and like they like the shield is closing in or whatever, and everything that it crosses just turns.
Yeah.
And they're complete figments of that shield,
Yeah.
so they'll fucking evaporate once they go. And
they
she turned
fucking
around,
grapes of wrath those kids, not grapes of wrath, fucking mice and men those kids.
Yeah.
They fucking laid them down in bed.
Yeah, and fucking that was rough.
But again, I think Marvel's setting it up. You know,
they'll
Wanda
be
says
back.
Family is forever.
Well, at the end there, she's cooking up something in her book. She's gonna do something.
And I would like to point out that last time we talked about WandaVision, I said that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is a strange title. Doctor Strange MOM. Mom. The plot of Doctor Strange, I'm calling it right here, right now, March the 8th, 2021. The plot of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is that Wanda Maximoff is going to try to use the Darkhold and bad magic to bring her kids from whatever plane of reality they exist in now. And Doctor Strange, who is the MCU's defender of reality,
he's gonna be like, no way.
Is gonna be like, you can't do this. You're gonna fuck up everything if you start playing with reality like this.
Yeah. They kind of set up. So we were talking about that. They were kind of setting up Wanda as a villain. Even though they still have her, she's a villain, but she's a villain you can root for.
Yeah.
Because they had her release the whole town, which that was fucked up when Agatha just unlocked everybody, and they all turned around like, hey, what's up, bitch?
Yeah,
we got some shit to talk about. Yeah. And then I thought they would, if I were that town, we would just all immediately just murder her, right?
I mean, she's so supremely powerful. Surely they understand that isn't an option.
I don't know. I'd go for it.
I don't know that because I mean, they talk a lot about feeling her pain, and that would suck. But if they pulled me out of it and I understood the grief that she was going through, I think I would be like, this sucks, and please let me go. But I get it. Yeah. I get it.
I mean, I guess you really can empathize with her, but they were still fucking pissed when they got unleashed for that.
I mean, yeah, it's rough. Because one thing,
Eric's mom in that 70s show was
she
wagging her finger at her.
So angry.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I think that Doctor Strange will come around to Wanda's cause. I think
he'll
be like, I want you to get your kids back. I don't want you to not get your kids back, but we have to do it in a way that is going to work out.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be a secondary antagonist. Now, whether that be, there's rumors that it's going to be Nightmare. There's rumors that it'll be Mephisto. I don't know who it'll be, but I do think, the boys are coming back. They want Wiccan and Speed for the Young Avengers, surely.
Well, so they didn't kill off Agatha, so she's just trapped in her own thing,
hellscape.
Which means they didn't kill her off, which means she'll be back again at some point.
And hopefully we'll see her more like her comic counterpart, because Agatha Harkness in the comics is nefarious, but I wouldn't call her a villain like she was in WandaVision. Agatha Harkness has always been a very self-interested and sort of ruthless mentor to Wanda.
Well, if they do bring her back and Agatha has a little bit of Agnes, because I think Agnes she's very cheery and funny, and I think that
I
human side of
would,
what I imagine what she was like in the comics, why people detected that she might be Agatha.
Yeah, she and she's always very manipulative towards Wanda. I mean, she's the one who erases Wanda's memory of having her kids in the comics.
No, yeah, and she kills all of her witch friends. Yeah, she's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, but she's a very interesting character, and I really plus Catherine Hahn. Oh my god,
yeah, put her in everything.
Your girlfriend reminds me a lot of Catherine Hahn.
Yeah. Yeah, they are very similar.
Yeah, they've got very similar vibes,
acting styles too. Yeah, they're very.
I think Emily DeBold would be a great Agnes.
She would.
She'd be great in that role. She'd be very good.
Babe,
she even kind of sounds
you should
like
play Agnes.
She even sounds kind of like Catherine Hahn.
Yeah.
I mean, I make no secret to you of how much I adore your girlfriend's performing abilities. She's very, very talented.
She's very talented. Not even her primary creative field. She's more of a designer, arts administration, very, very crafty. She made this beautiful cloud.
Actually, you know what? While I've got you here, Emily, I've got a question for your ass.
Yes, she does listen.
I got a question for your ass. So Emily did the album art for our podcast.
She did.
And how come one of my eyes is bigger than the other one in the art? And how come Evan gets to have two normal-sized eyes? I just want answers. I'm not mad. I'm just curious.
'Cause you're a little lopsided.
I'm not lopsided.
Not just, but the idea of you is.
That is fair.
I think, she had an advantage with my face because she knows what my face looks like.
Yeah.
And especially because of COVID, because anybody's barely seen anyone. She hasn't seen you in a minute. And not the fact that you're barely on social media.
That's also
which
true.
you're not on social media. You're on like Facebook.
That's it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And you have like 3 pictures of you all just like smiling next to Tara. Yeah. So she had little to go off of, but I would guess that it was a artistic choice. She probably didn't accidentally do that.
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
Yeah, that's just how she perceives you.
Yeah, well, we'll see how I perceive her whenever I see her again.
Oh boy. Hey, you're just lucky I didn't draw the art. If I had to cartoon you, well, actually I sketched up like a schematic of kind of what I had in mind for the logo.
Yeah.
In mine picture of you looked like that just a triangle, like the stick head for lacrosse. You probably don't get that reference. Or the Life is Good.
Yeah.
You know that guy? He's got the triangle head and like for some reason you kind of looked like that with like a little whisker beard.
Yeah.
But
when COVID ends, I'm gonna get rid of my little whisker beard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go back to smooth face Treyton?
Yeah. I think
I had
so.
a Snapchat reminder. It was 3 years ago. Just the other day, we were doing Hand of God.
The Hand of God was 3 years ago?
3 years ago. My freshman.
Holy dick, man.
My freshman year.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm a senior now.
Holy shit.
I'm about to graduate.
It does not feel like it was that long ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Man, time flies.
Did you ever hang Tyrone up on your wall? Like Jesus?
I have him. He's in my room.
He got so crusty with blood.
He did.
And fake blood, which was very, very sticky.
Yeah. But surely that was only one of the Tyrones.
Well, he probably just got residual blood just from being around so much blood. But the other 2 Tyrones were just fucking.
Yeah.
The last one was disgusting.
We should have Tyrone on the show.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? We'd have to edit out everything I say.
It would not go. It would not go well.
No.
What a great show. I want to do Robert Askin's second show.
You talked about a Robert Askin show a couple pods ago. I think.
Do. I want to do the squirrels really badly.
The squirrels.
That's what it's called.
The squirrels.
The squirrels. Very Veruca Salt.
Yes.
Well, amazing.
I want a squirrel, Daddy.
Did you well, obviously you've seen the Johnny Depp, but surely you've seen the Gene Wilder. Willy Wonka.
I just saw that this year, probably. It was
amazing.
Probably the first movie I watched of 2021.
Isn't it amazing?
It was, it was fun. It looks like it looks like a high school play. The scenery and shit.
It does.
It looks so bad. Just to think that was Hollywood's best
at the time. Yeah.
What is in the 60s and Gene Wilder? That man
my God,
can just do no wrong. No, in my
certainly
eyes,
not.
He is wonderful in everything he's in, and there's something about his performance where it's so understated.
Yeah,
like he's so soft. He's so gentle.
Yeah,
he's so pretty.
One of my very favorite scenes in all of
cinema
so
fucking funny
is whenever whenever Augustus falls in the river, Mrs. Gloop is like, "Help! Somebody cry for help!" And he's like, "Help, please." Murder.
Help, please.
Yeah, it's just so great.
He's wonderful in Blazing Saddles.
Oh
as
my
well.
God, Blazing Saddles.
Oh my God, what a wonderful,
The best,
horribly aged film.
I don't know though, because here's the thing I'll say about Blazing Saddles. Like,
Well,
does it do things we wouldn't do today? Yes.
no, absolutely.
But ultimately, it's satirical.
No, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm surely not criticizing the film in that way. No,
Right.
I'm a big fan of Mel Brooks. We could have a
As
whole.
am I.
We could, and we should have a whole episode where we just talk about Mel Brooks movies.
Oh yeah.
Spaceballs.
Oof.
Or we could just talk about it right now. Mel Brooks, dude.
Oh my God.
So
good.
We don't have to dedicate the whole
What's
episode
your
to this.
favorite?
I mean, Spaceballs is my favorite.
Uh-huh.
See what? Well, let's list them all. There's Spaceballs.
The Producers.
The
Blazing
classic.
Saddles.
Mel Brooks is also great because Producers. He made that a badass film, and then he made it into a badass musical.
Yeah.
And then made it that
musical
into
a movie.
a less badass movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. A movie. He made a movie.
And then there was
There's
History of the World Part 2.
I have not, or Part 1. There's
Part
only
one.
Part 1.
Yeah.
I have not seen that. That's the one. My favorite Mel Brooks joke is in that movie. I have before you the 15, the 10 commandments. Yeah, the greatest joke of all time.
So good, so good.
I haven't seen it though. It's hard to get a hold of. And then there's Spaceballs, which is probably his most popular.
Yeah, not my favorite though.
Not your favorite.
Not my favorite.
I was a huge Star Wars kid.
Yeah.
And my dad was big into Spaceballs. And I fucking love Rick Moranis.
Oh my God, of course.
Oh my God, dude. Rick Moranis.
Fucking. I was a huge Western kid.
So you
I
like
watched
Blazing
a lot of
Saddles?
Gunsmoke, a lot of So Blazing Saddles is easily my favorite.
We're missing out on some here.
Yeah,
I'm
surely.
just gonna quickly Google.
It's so easy to remember those big ones.
Yeah, Mel Brooks. Mel
Wow,
Brooks.
he is still living, huh?
I cannot believe. And
94 years old.
I'm going to be sad when he is dead.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Men
Robin
in
Hood,
Tights.
Men
Yeah.
in Tights. Robots? He made robots? Oh, Young
Interesting.
Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein, of course.
That is.
I've never seen Young Frankenstein.
It's a great one. And then
I think the rest
kind of falls out. He's kind of in some of these movies.
Yeah.
He's in The Elephant Man, which I have not seen.
I have not seen The Elephant Man. I have seen David Lynch's Blue Velvet, and I have seen Eraserhead. And I have an unpopular opinion in David Lynch does nothing for me.
David Lynch. I have not seen Eraserhead, though I've heard popular things.
It's disgusting, and I did not like it.
I know there's a David Lynch movie that I really enjoy.
Did you watch Twin Peaks?
That's his most popular thing.
Yeah, everybody loves Twin Peaks.
No, I did not. Maybe Lolita? No, that's a Stanley Kubrick film.
It is.
Or maybe I don't really. Oh, holy shit! Did he do What Did Jack Do? Okay, I've seen What Did Jack Do. Have you seen What Did Jack Do?
I have not seen What Did Jack Do.
Okay, this is on Netflix. Everybody can watch this. It's a 17-minute movie of this guy on a train cart just interrogating this monkey.
Interesting.
And I don't fully remember. It's like the monkey's like an outlaw.
Is
or
the
something
guy
like that.
in this? Is that the guy?
I guess David Lynch. Is he an actor?
That
or did
is
he make
David
it?
Lynch.
That is him.
That's David
so
Lynch.
he acted in it. Wow. And I guess the monkey's Jack. We call the monkey Jack.
Hilarious. Blue Velvet and Eraserhead both disgusted me profoundly.
Dune, I've heard of.
And I get it. Like I don't want fucking David
bigoted.
Lynch fans to be emailing us and being like, Treyton doesn't get David Lynch.
Well,
No, I get it.
the whole
it's
point-
gross.
Well, the whole point's it's gross, right?
Yeah.
It's like who's the Waters something
John Waters.
John Waters.
Yeah.
His movies are
Gross.
weird and gross, but they're supposed to be.
Yeah. And listen, this is something I don't know you don't know about me. I am notoriously squeamish.
Yeah, you're pretty squeamish.
I'm a squeamish person.
Which is weird because you're disgusting.
Yep, that's true.
But you're disgusting in kind of conceptual ways.
That's right. That's
And,
right.
like-
I'm not walking in covered in shit.
Yeah. I'm more of a covered in shit guy.
Yeah.
You're more of a covered in cum guy.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly
And-
right.
and we're both greasy.
Yeah, very greasy.
They both
greasy
just a different
boys.
just a different stink.
Body horror always gets to me. I don't love body horror.
Blood? You don't like blood?
Blood's okay. I'm not gonna pass out at the sight or smell of blood.
But if you're watching Scream,
that's okay.
It's like I use
guts
that.
Do it for me. I don't like guts.
That's
blood I can handle.
That's one of the first scene in Scream.
Yeah.
Where like she turns the porch light on and her boyfriend's sitting there just disemboweled.
Yeah.
That got me when I was a kid.
I was
like, that's too much. That's too much. I can watch all the Happy Tree Friends in the world.
Yeah.
But that's too much.
The most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a movie is in a zombie movie, and I can't remember what movie it's in. It's
Zombieland?
No, it's not a movie that good.
Okay.
But there's a horde of zombies and they've locked themselves in like a bunker or something, and the zombies start scratching at the door and their fingernails peel up.
Ugh.
It's awful.
That reminds me of Shaun of the Dead.
What a great movie.
At the end, that's a scene that made me really squeamish too. Is at the end when they're at the Woodchester?
Yeah. I think so.
Winchester.
Yeah.
They're at the Winchester, and the guy who looks like John Lennon, the actor that kind of looks like John Lennon.
Okay.
He's very snarky. He's in other things. I enjoy him a lot.
Yeah.
But he's like at a window, and then all the zombies are banging on the door, and they're trying to get in, and they break through the glass, and they grab him, and they kind of pull him out, and they do that thing where they just all start clawing at his gut, and they just rip him open, and you just see the life leave his eyes. He's like, oh,
gross.
Yeah. It horrified
I
me.
haven't
and
seen.
They like pulled out like this. They like pulled a bone out that was like still kind of cartilagey.
Ugh.
It fucking icked me out.
I haven't
was
seen.
all icky.
I haven't seen Shaun of the Dead since high school.
It is such a good movie, dude. Funny.
I watched all three of
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. Yeah.
Edgar Wright, man. Baby Driver, Hot Fuzz. Oh my God,
Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I would say I like Shaun of the Dead more than Hot Fuzz. It's more sentimental to me, and I just like the zombie movie, the fun zombie movie.
Yeah.
The characters I like more. But Hot Fuzz is just a better movie. It's just
Hot Fuzz is so good.
So fucking funny. They're looking for that goose the whole time.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, the fence scene is like, watch this, and he fucking flips over the. Oh my God, yeah.
I love.
That's a fucking bloody movie too.
Yeah.
When the fucking church
yeah.
thing falls off and it just impales him directly at the top of his head, just explodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, please go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you watch At World's End?
I did not. I watched those two. I didn't watch the third one. But I really want to watch At World's End. I've heard it's very, very good.
It's good. It's not as good as the other ones. The other two are classics though.
Yeah.
So it's hard to compete. It's a good movie. Simon Pegg plays an unlikable character.
Yeah.
Which
That's hard to believe for Simon Pegg.
It's weird. It's a weird character. He's like wearing this leather trench coat the whole time, and he's like trying to be a cool boy. None of the characters really stick with you with At World's End.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of a pub crawl during the end of the world, it gets the movie through.
Right.
What was the other one? So those three movies, At World's End, Hot Fuzz, and Shaun of the Dead, are what are referred to as the Cornetto Trilogy, which is because in all those movies, which Edgar Wright directed, he directed all three of those, and then Simon Pegg and God, what's the guy's name? Nick Frost.
Yep.
Nick Frost. They're in all three of those movies.
Yeah.
And at some point in all three of those movies, someone goes, "Can I get a cornetto?"
Yeah.
Which is just a drumstick in Britain. Yeah. It's but the one that people always think is in that trilogy that's not is what was it? Paul? Alan or Paul?
Paul. It's Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
It's the alien movie.
And that was a good movie. I enjoyed that.
I saw it one time when I was in high school, and I don't remember anything about it.
Edgar Wright didn't direct it, so it's not very memorable.
Yeah.
But Seth Rogen and those
is
two
the
are in
alien,
it.
yeah.
So it's funny. And they're like Comic-Con nerds, so it's aliens, Area 51.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's just good fun.
I really I don't know, have we talked about our favorite movies on the podcast before?
I'm sure we've mentioned movies we really like.
Yeah, but have we ever explicitly said like our favorite movies?
I don't. We maybe have. Because and we'll kind of talk.
Yeah.
think I know I've for certainly said that I don't have a favorite movie, that I have a handful of movies that I consider, that when someone says, what's your favorite movie, I think of.
Yeah.
But I don't have a favorite one.
I do.
I'm sure you do.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, of course.
Is my favorite movie.
Of course.
I could watch that movie on repeat for months and never get tired of it.
That movie is everything about you.
Yeah.
It's animation, just kind of bizarre, wacky humor.
Like an adult undercurrent.
Big animated titties.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on.
Jessica Rabbit. Yeah.
Love Jessica Rabbit. She's great. I'm not bad. I was just drawn this way.
Fucking, yeah. I love. Yeah. That's another thing I love. They kind of break the fourth wall a lot in that movie.
Yeah, very meta.
It's just a fun movie. That's a movie I haven't seen in a bit.
That's my number one.
Rewatch that.
And then my number two.
Oh, and the whole time it's like a noir film. Still.
It is, and I love the noir genre. My second favorite movie is Clue.
Clue
is my second favorite.
Are you serious?
Movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Clue is my second favorite movie.
Emily, I know you're still listening to this. I made Emily watch Clue.
It's so fucking funny.
Over quarantine. That's one of my favorite. I wouldn't say that's one of my favorite movies, but I love that movie.
We did that movie as a play in high school.
I remember you telling me about that.
We did that.
And you did like the.
I
wrote
transcribed
the
screenplay,
which is hilarious, and it's such a good movie. And Emily didn't like it; she hated it.
What?
We fight about it. It's the biggest point.
What did she hate about it?
It's the biggest point of contention in
it should be. I can't believe you're together.
I can't believe either. I really had to do therapy to move past this.
I need to understand what she didn't like about it.
I think she didn't like. Oh, I'm not representing. I can't fully remember. I'm not representing her argument of it, but I don't think she liked the overall vibe of it. The snooty uppity of who's the guy? Tim
Curry.
Tim Curry's character. He's the butler, and he's very.
but all of that poshness and seriousness is undercut by the slapstick that is all over the movie,
which is why I like.
This is why it's perfect.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it with her, so I wasn't there to experience her thought process, and maybe I could have fought for it. But
it hits.
She won't hear it. She won't hear my arguments.
What makes Clue so great?
Wonderful.
What makes Clue so great? Emily, hear my argument.
I'll tell you why I love it.
It hits because there are two kinds of comedy. There's wet comedy and dry comedy, right?
Yes.
And Clue is one of those few properties.
It's both.
That hits wet and dry comedy.
Yeah.
And it's so funny in both ways.
Everything about that movie is funny. It's kind of like I've talked about Spinal Tap on and actually, if I have to say my favorite movie, I would say this is Spinal Tap.
I've not seen it, but I've heard amazing things.
Because it's very much like Clue in that it's serious the entire time, and it's the funniest movie I've ever seen. It started that mockumentary genre, and it's an old rock band. It's the concept of an old washed up 80s rock hair metal band in the 80s, and it's just and they're so serious, but it's just the tone of it is just it's so ridiculous that, and they're treating it so seriously that you just laugh your ass off. And
the fucking cast of Clue: Martin Mull, Eileen Brennan, Madeline Kahn, Tim Curry, Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd. No, not Christopher Lloyd.
It is Christopher Lloyd.
No, I'm sure he's in it. One of the guy who plays the gay guy,
Mr. Green. I know him.
What's the guy's name?
Keen. What's his first name?
Clue, Mr. Green, gay. That's the first.
Michael Mckeon.
Michael McKean. He's in This Is Spinal Tap as well. He plays the lead singer.
Michael
McKean. You're
amazing.
You are amazing.
He's
so
awesome.
Good. He has the best. One of my favorite lines in all of cinema is when he's gay the whole movie, and then they do that thing at the end, which I think Emily didn't like this about it, which I get some people where they do several different endings. I understand.
It's Clue. Ooh,
I like it. Yeah, I like it. No,
it's a call back to the board game.
No, I like it too. I'm not disagreeing with you. I can see where someone wouldn't like that though, where they're like, "What? They couldn't figure out the fucking
Emily
end."
and I are getting ready to have a real problem.
I'm gonna go fight her. No, I some people I guess could look at that and be like, "Well, they couldn't figure out a fucking end, and so they just put all three in." But
it's a choice.
But the very, very end, which I always consider the real
true
end,
ending.
the true ending. The gay guy, he turns out to be a cop, and then he goes through, he arrests everybody or whatever. He's walking out the door. He's like, "I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna go sleep with my wife."
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you,
it's great. It's great.
I want to tell you my favorite line from that movie, but there's so many. Like, I'm literally running through my mind of lines that I remember that I love.
I need to rewatch it. I was.
Oh my god.
I would like to watch it, but I don't know.
You don't have anybody to watch it with?
Might be out of my relationship if I watch this movie again.
My favorite, you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. Every cook will tell you that. But look what happened to the cook. Flames on the sides of my face. Big heaving breaths. Heaving breaths. So Tara was Mrs. White whenever we did Clue.
Were you the
butler?
Yes.
I was not.
No. I would think you would be Mr. Green.
I was not Mr. Green.
Who are you?
I was Professor Plum.
Ah.
I was.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fun thing.
So good.
Clue does.
Emily DeBold, give it another chance.
I don't know. And she really loves the 80s too. It was made
it's such a brilliant satire of the Red Scare.
I don't know.
It's
I
so
didn't
good.
I didn't even know about
and
that.
Reaganism. So. God.
I need to rewatch this movie.
Emily DeBold needs to watch this movie with me.
And Emily, darling, you need to rewatch it with me too. So we need to both get on the same page about this. I'll try to save you from Treyton watching.
You better hope you get to her before I do, because this is a concern of mine. This will be an off-podcast conversation.
You're gonna make her watch it like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, exactly. Pry the eyes open. And on that beautiful, happy note.
Well, we still got a minute here.
Oh, cool.
I just further talk about movies. So you like Clue?
Mm-hmm.
You like
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
So mine. This is Spinal Tap.
Very good. I've not seen it, but heard good things.
A very unoriginal thought, but Goodfellas is so fucking good.
Never seen it.
What?
Never seen it. Never seen it.
What? Do you like any gangster movies? You ever watch Godfather?
I've never seen Godfather.
What? You need to watch those movies.
I don't know. Mobster movies have never really done anything for me, and not done anything.
You're just racist against Italians.
Is that,
What?
Are we living in 1930s New York?
I'm accusing you. Until you watch these movies, you need to watch.
I've just never seen them.
They're really good. I guess if you've never,
I've never seen Scarface.
That's understandable. That one I enjoy too, but that one's it's not. It's a bit wacky.
Sure.
It's got a fucking ridiculous soundtrack.
And this is very you would have to liberally call this a gangster movie. Like, I've seen Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, which are by
those are
liberalist of definitions.
Reservoir Dogs is definitely a gangster movie.
Yeah,
they're gangsters.
They are. It's
kind of they're not. The other ones are more mafia movies. Yeah, and those are interesting. Well, you should check those out.
I will.
Goodfellas. I always put Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny.
Oh my God, what a good movie!
I always give that.
I got in trouble for watching that movie one time.
Really?
I did.
Oh, I did too. I
had rented it and didn't tell my mom what it was, and I was watching it, and she came in and she's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well."
I remember turning it on TV, and I had seen it before.
Yeah.
And my little brother Spencer was like young. like just old enough to where probably everything he was looking was making a permanent
impression
on his brain. He was just old enough to really
be damaged.
Yeah, to be damaged. And it was that final scene in Tenacious D where he's got the lasers all around him, and he's got the button that he has to push to deactivate the lasers. And Jack Black doesn't know what to do, and he looks over at Cage and he goes, "Use the cock." and he somehow just through strength of mind and from doing all of his cock push-ups throughout the movie, he like unbuttons his zipper and it just goes boop and pushes the button. And my dad walked in during that scene. He's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" He's like, "Why the hell wouldn't you immediately turn this off?" I was like, "It's funny."
Another fucking thing I got in trouble for watching when I was little is I watched the Austin Powers movies with my older cousins.
Another classics.
I did.
Or at least the first two.
I was like fucking 7.
Yeah.
Like maybe even younger than that. And I was watching it with my older cousins who were like 13, 14, 15 at the time. And I was like too young to not understand that I shouldn't say what was on the screen.
Yeah.
And I kept running around my grandparents' house saying, "Do I make you horny, baby?" And they got in so much trouble.
That movie, the second movie got me in trouble because I didn't know bastard was a bad word.
It was a bad word,
and fat bastard is a character. And so I'd walk around talking like fat bastard. Which, funny enough, that's about the Shrek voice I did when I played voice, Shrek. And he kind of did. It's Mike Myers who plays Fat
same
Bastard.
Person.
So that's my same shitty impression of Mike Myers.
I didn't know that bastard was a bad word until I got to college. People told me that people because in my community at least, I said bastard all the time and nobody ever looked at me funny.
Yeah, well, I think once you realize, I didn't know what a bastard what you just see fat bastard, you're like, fat bastard, that's a bad word, don't say bastard. You're like, okay, bastard's a bad word, and then later you learn why it's a bad word.
Yeah, this is a big question that I'm gonna hit you with right here at the fucking tail end of the podcast.
At the end,
I just want to hear what you think about it. There are a lot of different schools of thought about it, and like obviously there are things that your kid shouldn't say like in front of your parents, right? But are you going to raise your children to have bad words?
Bad words?
Yeah, like words they're not allowed to say. Are you going to raise your children that way? In your house. I'm not talking about around your parents because like, hey, don't say fuck around grandpa. It really pisses him off.
Oh, just words that like you should not say this word.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to teach your kid not to say the N-word and stuff like that.
That's not what I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about profanity. I'm talking about, like, fuck and shit and pussy and
no.
ball.
I personally know because my parent, they don't say, like, pussy and shit and shit. They don't say like pussy and cunt. all the really when you're really digging in your pocket of vulgarities, those are the ones you really come up with.
Yeah.
But I was raised in a household where shit, damn it, was just yelled around the corner, and it was just kind of agreed upon that like until you get older, like I didn't really start even remotely kind of swearing around my parents until I was like in late high school, and until at that point I was like, I'm like 18, I can do that now. But my brother, I'm the oldest, and so I was the guinea pig, and now my little brother, who's he's been swearing since he was like in fucking first grade, kindergarten. I remember having to pick up my little brother from preschool one time because he had dropped the F-bomb. Yeah.
Good kid.
I think from hanging around us.
I don't know that I'm going to raise my kids with profanities that they can't say in my house.
I think it's...
I'm going to tell them not to say it around their grandparents, but like...
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I don't want to say outdated, but...
I just like...
I know that I'm not going to... I know that I swear just kind of... as I talk, I say fuck as an sometimes.
Yeah.
And I recognize that language should be used in, like, I talk differently on this podcast. I talk on this podcast very similarly to how I talk in most of the time.
Right.
Which is different from when I'm hanging out with my grandma. But my grandma listens to this.
Right. So she knows.
But so she knows, but I'm not ashamed of that because that's just how I talk. So I think when I have kids, hopefully in like 20, 30 years.
20, 30 years?
No, that'd probably be too late.
Fuck, you think?
Hopefully in at least 10 years. I don't know.
10 years?
Give me a minute. I'm going to be a starving artist.
My wife and I are gonna start trying in September.
Yes, but your wife is a nurse.
She's not a nurse.
No, what is she again?
She's a lab tech.
She's a lab tech.
Yeah.
Well, she's medical field. I don't know. You guys have stable jobs. You guys just seem like adults though.
We are.
Do I? Yeah. And just you saying that right there.
But I'm not that much older than you.
Yeah, but I don't identify as an adult.
But I hate to
and
tell
identity
you,
is everything nowadays. I don't identify as adult. I'm a little baby child. Goo goo gaga.
Well, I'm a grown ass man.
You're only 2 years older than me.
I am. So
yeah, but I don't know. I would just prefer not to have kids until I'm financially really.
Well, hey, maybe you'll get financially stable quicker than you expect. It happened to me.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I live in a fantasy world where
you do
things fall into my lap constantly, but
you really do.
I do.
I've
never worked for anything, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is privilege.
Yep. But you're a very talented guy.
No.
You're very insightful, and I don't know. Yeah. I think we've sputtered out at the end here.
Hey, that's good though.
Fuck.
Tell your kids to say fuck. It's okay. It's a new world they're living in.
Children must swear.
That's right. Kamala's the vice president, so it's a new world.
Wonderful. Okay, well, let's wrap this episode up. This has been the 10th episode.
Oh, Big Tanner. Big Tanner.
Of Kentucky Fried Roadkill. Once again, email in any questions, comments, whatever you want. If you want to ask us a question, if you want us to talk about something, or just if you're trying to unload some thoughts that are on your mind, email us at kyfriedroadkill@gmail.com. KY, Kentucky Fried Roadkill.
I literally thought you were going to say like KY Pleasure Jelly. I don't know why. I thought you were going there, but I did.
I don't even know what KY Pleasure Jelly is.
You didn't see those commercials? It's like that fucking lube for people, for like that KY branded back in like 2010, 11, something like that.
And
they had like the weirdest commercials for it on TV. It was like as close as you could get to a sex commercial without like coming out and saying that you're selling lube.
Personal lubricant. Love jelly.
Literally.
But anyways, write in about your feelings on lube to kyfriedroadkill@gmail.com. Yes, this has been another wonderfully voluptuous episode of Kentucky Fried Roadkill.
We're your boys.
Yes, I have been Evan Pride.
I have been Treyton Blackburn.
The sign off, I think you did it last time.
I did.
So I need to think.
You want me to count you off?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go from 5. Okay.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And remember, kids, you can't fold paper more than 7 times. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody.